Welcome to Radio Caviar Musical, the place where the artists are the stars. I'm Eric, and as always, I'm here with Gerardo.
Hello, everybody. Greetings, Eric. Greetings, David. I'm ready for a fantastic interview.
Yeah, here we go. Now let's talk to our guest, David McGregor from Phantom Busker, a real trendsetter with the fusion of jazz and metal that is hitting the mainstream platforms around the world with their new single, Notice. Hi, David. How is it going?
I'm doing very well, my friend. All good here. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you also for taking the time to have me on your show.
Well, thank you. To start with the question, could you tell us about Phantom Busker and how it started?
I would love to. I would love to. So, when I was, maybe I'll quickly explain that my career over the last 15 years or so has actually been that of a jazz musician. I was mostly touring, playing solo guitar concerts and playing with other jazz musicians, classical musicians, and more on this kind of side of the world. But when I was really beginning in music, the thing that made me want to play music was rock and heavy metal. Bands like Metallica and Megadeth and things like Guns N' Roses and this kind of thing. And so that's where I began when it came to songwriting and composing and things like that. And the song that we spoke about, Notice, was a song that I wrote as a child. I wrote this song about 25 years ago. It was one of the first songs I wrote, and I always remembered it, always stuck with me. And my wife, she always told me she really likes this song. And she says, you need to record it. You need to record it. And I was like, okay. So we had the pandemic, everything closed. I stopped touring. I had a little more time. And I'm in my little studio here. I've been building this little home studio that I have for the last few years and making it a little bit more like a professional recording studio. And I had the opportunity to do it. So I was like, okay. So I kind of put it together, and I was like, this was so much fun to go back to my early influences and record something like that. And I was like, well, I don't think I want this to just be a one-off song. I think I want this to be a full band, a full project, something that I can actually take on tour eventually and things like that. So that's kind of what planted the seed for the Phantom Busker.
And David, what are your musical influences?
My influences, so I mentioned earlier Metallica and Megadeth and Guns N' Roses. So I think when I was a kid, Slash was my favorite guitarist, but my favorite band was Megadeth.
Oh,
so that was like for me, like Dave Mustaine, snarling. Yeah. So, I mean, that's when you go to the beginning, there's a lot of that. But well, I mean, my influences really span a lot of different genres and a lot of different music. You know, I like a lot of different jazz music from guys like Chet Baker or maybe Miles Davis. If we're going back. And I think when I was really young, I really enjoyed listening to like the Rat Pack and this kind of thing. So, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin, that's the Rat Pack. It's good I remembered other names. So there's like a lot of jazz things in there. And then I love classical music, Mozart and Chopin and things like this. And then all sorts of other crazy experimental stuff, like groups like, I don't know, I mean, one of my favorite artists is Devin Townsend, who used to play with Steve Vai. Steve Vai was a really big influence on me as well, guitar playing wise. And then Devin Townsend went on to do a band called Strapping Young Lad, which is a really heavy metal band. And yeah, now he does all sorts of different stuff. So artists like Devin Townsend really inspire me because they're kind of spanning genres and doing a lot of different stuff. And they're also their home producers. So one last guy that pops into my head that's on that kind of thing, but more from a jazz world, is Jacob Collier. I don't know if you guys know Jacob Collier, but I just absolutely love his music. Is incredible. And it's, you know, it started off when he first came out, it was really jazzy, and he's gone through kind of folk and orchestral stuff and also quite poppy at times as well.
Wow. Well,
I hope I answered your question.
What is your source of inspiration when composing your songs?
Can you ask me that one more time, please?
What is your source of inspiration when composing your songs?
Right, source of inspiration. Well, I suppose one of my main inspirations is often traveling and meeting new people and experiencing new cultures. There's something about this that really just excites me, you know. And I lived actually in Mexico for a while before living here in the Netherlands. And with my job, I get to travel a lot and go to different countries. So I really have been fortunate to meet a lot of, to experience a lot of different cultures. And it's actually something that I still feel strongly about is that the world at the moment feels a little bit like everyone's kind of scared of each other and a little bit scared of each other's differences. But actually, I often feel that if we could instead embrace them and learn from each other and take the best parts of everybody, the world could sort of come together and be a sort of better place, right? And so I feel this way about music too. So all these different cultures and everything, that kind of inspired me to look at a lot of different musical cultures too. And whenever I hear something new or see something new, it really brings me a lot of inspiration.
So you got an special connection with people.
Yes, yeah, I'm a people person.
Wow, interesting.
Well, it's time to share your music, David, with our audience. Could you introduce your new single, Notice?
I would be happy to. So this is a song that I wrote 25 years ago as a young kid, and it really is a dream come true for me to have actually released this song. So this is Notice by Phantom Busker.
Okay, wait a moment. Go.
You know you left them down inside, but don't you feel bad? Death in your eyes, and don't you feel sad? Whoa, would you even notice if I was the same? No, 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 no. Would you even notice if I was to change? Yeah, the one of them. No, 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 when you walk down that road, when you see what you saw, would you notice? No rest at all. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Don't think you notice. No rest at all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes.
Song has a lot of feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, it's emotional.
Power of rock and roll spirit. Rock and roll
Oh, yeah.
scene. We connecting. Yeah. Interesting.
I'm very
Wow.
glad you guys liked it.
Yes. I like so much this song. Yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations for the song.
Yeah. Now we are already in the middle of 2022. What are your goals for the rest of this year and for 2023? Are you going to record an album, go on tour, or something else?
Well, I've got a bit of a crazy year. Things are a bit crazy at the moment. So at the start of well, actually about a year ago, I joined another band, a touring band called Harmony Glen. They're kind of playing like folk, sort of Scottish Irish folk music mixed with a bit of rock. And we're touring very hard at the moment. So I'm away pretty much every weekend. I'm away between now and September. And playing a lot of the time in Germany, but also a bit in Belgium and also the Netherlands. So touring a ton with that. Actually just confirmed a couple of solo jazz guitar concerts in Scotland for October. So I've got some jazz concerts to play in October. And but when it comes to Phantom Busker, my plan is very simple. I plan to release regularly singles, probably up to about 7 or 10 singles. The next one is called Why Go By. I've already recorded it, I've already mixed it, I've already mastered it, and I've started working on a music video for it also. With that project, I'm just planning to release the music and try to create awareness of the project. So this is a wonderful thing like this, doing interviews and having different people find out about it. Then I think once it's at a stage where enough people know about it, I would then like to go into the studio and do an album, then do like a big pre-production and then do a tour. That would be the plan. But I don't imagine that happening anytime in the next year or so. I would imagine it will take a bit of time just to build enough awareness about it. And I think that I want to really do it in a spectacular way. So I want to avoid dragging it out onto the road too early. So it's going to be very laid back with Phantom Busker, but I'm being kept nice and busy with everything else.
And
Well, but in future, we expect to see you from Canary Island.
I would
be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I would love to. I would love to come over. It would be interesting. In the Canary Islands, do you guys have a lot of different music, or is it like a good rock scene, or do you have like jazz also? What do you find over there is good?
Yes, we are a fan of rock music.
All right, so it's Phantom Busker. Okay, as soon as we're ready, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And David, what's your opinion about digital impact on music, but with social media and mainstream platforms, or even concert in metaverse?
What is my opinion with the legal impact? Did you ask?
And what's your opinion about the digital impact on music?
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm of two minds, so it's kind of odd. So I used to sell from my web store quite a lot of CDs and stuff, and that has dramatically decreased with the world of streaming, of course, coming about. And I think at first I kind of hated it. I was like, that is not right. It just is like they're stealing our music and everything. But I think I'm starting to understand it. Because it's not like I'm giving someone something, it's more that they're borrowing it, they're hiring it, so to speak, right? If they're streaming or something like that. So there has to be a different rate, a different price for that. You can't do that. So I think the wonderful thing about streaming, things like Spotify and all that, is that they're really like another marketing tool, aren't they? They're another way to reach people who you might not have necessarily reached on another ways. So I think it's the future. It's the way things are moving. I think perhaps they could do it a little fairer for the musicians. As far as I understand it, it's kind of like a bidding system. So if you are on Spotify and you are like me, Phantom Busker, the song we played today, notice, has had around 1,000 streams. It's not very much. It's a small amount of listeners. So I'll receive a very small payment per play, something like 0.00029 cents or something like that. But if you're a very successful artist, as far as I understand, you get a much larger percentage per stream because you're good for Spotify, so they reward you with more, which I think makes it extremely difficult for independent artists to make any kind of living from streaming alone. You need to be making millions of streams to get by. So I think they could maybe think about a slightly fairer way of paying the artists, but let's embrace the future. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And now, how do you view the Korean music scene?
It's pretty cool, I think. I think because of things like Spotify, everyone's out touring more, aren't they? Everyone's out playing. And I mean, it's been a strange couple of years for the entire world with lockdowns and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of coming back. But I mean, from what I've witnessed, I've been out gigging a lot this summer so far. It's alive. The music scene is alive. People love live music still. People are out there listening. I think people are listening to music more than ever as well, because they can just stream it on their phone. They don't have to buy CD or whatever. So I think the music scene is good. I think that the future is good for music. I feel really great about it, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's all. Is you want to get a message to our audience? Is the moment.
Well, I don't think I have too much more to say. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Live life and be happy. That's about it, my friend.
Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Cheers.
No. Well, it was so nice sitting down with you today.
It's been a pleasure. It's been absolutely lovely, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, until the next the next time, David.
Perfecto.
Ok. Muy bien.
Excelente.